Welcome back, everyone, to Total Carnage Listen-Throughs. I'm Admin 1 of VinnyFX, and we are picking up where we left off on the album Spreader by Unbrn. We're about halfway through. Last time we heard Temporal Immunity, which I believe is the longest track on the album. This looks to be the second longest one, Social Ignorance. So let's see what lies in store for us here. Some flourishing chill chord. Those sound like some sorts of chimes, crystal noises in the background. We're about to deliver something important, for instance. I see it's the signature intro, starting with the simple note or chord, patiently building on it. Sort of letting the weight of the moment sit there for a bit by isolating what was once an addition. That beat gives a slight more of a tripping feeling by having the snare hits or clap hits on the offbeats, as well as the onbeats. It's interesting because with different layers of harmonization, there are different octaves, and I think even just the choice of octaves and switching between them across phrases kind of helps really deliver the emotional arc, especially when it's within, one general loop or key or feeling. It's interesting now because at first it seemed like all the layers were sorts of single note or single chord ones that just sort of varied in rhythm and pitch, but now I'm hearing some more notes wrapping around the whole din. Excuse me. through all this, I'm getting the feeling of, I suppose, what it means to be locked in a certain state of being, where you're stuck in the same environment or the same phase or what have you, but where you're feeling all the implications of it across time. I suppose that would bear some relevance to the title, Social Ignorance, especially as it pertains to the COVID theme, being sort of locked in a world of, well, social ignorance that keeps things as they are. That would be my first guess as to what it may mean. This may seem strange, but I think one of my top favorite parts of this track is the sort of crystal sounds in the background. The droplets. Sort of noise droplets. Next up we have the spread. Oh wow, that was a warping opening chord. Kind of goes up and down. This one seems to also have droplet sounds. Oh, it occurred to me I might be referring to droplets that spread. If so, that's pretty interesting. It's sort of clever. Oh, here we go. We have the album title spoken. Even just from the intro, this one so far sounds like it has the most sound character of them all. All the different things going on. Not just in terms of the amount of layers at any present moment, but just the different types of things going on. Noise and melody. And oscillation. This one sounds like it's about to launch off. Here we go. Anticipatory, steady kick. When the layers isolated like that, in this case it gives me a feeling of both. On one hand, a sense of relief, of cover from something, and at the same time building tension. Whoa. There's more unease there because not only is there an additional tense, energetic sounding layer, but at a moment I heard one of the notes kind of bend a little. Yeah, there again. It sounds almost sick. It's a good idea there, by the way, to sort of let the more modal lines stand on their own for a little bit, and then giving them more meaning with like the slow chord progression happening over the top. I say that in part because I've made the mistake in the past of not doing it that way, or maybe I should have had parts where the line is overlaid with the chord progression, parts where it isn't. It's kind of the full breadth of power, basically. happens in phases and rounds. This one will be even more tense because it's not only prolonged, but having a bit of added quietness to the percussion, and then a new layer over the top of it that's, sparse but high pitched and feels like an alarm. Despite what I've said about tension or what have you, this one sounds most like I must say, the ass-kicking track in a way. It's hard to say for sure, but this one sounds like they're doing a lot. And when I say you, I mean whoever it is you're inhabiting, characterizing the track, you the listener. Go. More of the bending and the droplets. On a trivial note, I wonder what a metal version of this would sound like. There's an eerie kind of a fading out echo. Here we are, separation. See, there's the sort of synth voice that works well for this sort of melody that sounds almost lounge-like. Just the way that the chords feel and how the progression, it's certainly more minor keyed, but sounds more mysterious. I like the use of giving, these lines sort of a boost with like the punchy synth punches underneath. Now this has like a galloping feeling. The stair pattern happening. This is good because both of the dominant lines right now are like a 3-chord or 3-note progression, but they're in the same overall key or feeling, different notes and a different rhythm, so they have their own way of coalescing. We have the same sort of principle, but it sounds more like the main line is 2 chords, but put through. Sounds almost like an arpeggiator, but that's probably not the thing. It's like a series of notes. I think I just imagine like using that same sort of pattern each time you press a button, depending on how you configured it. It was interesting. I'm hearing these noises. It's like they could be sort of like electronic percussion, yet also notes. They have like a mildly but not overly dissonant feel with the rest of the music. It makes it good, especially this sort of tension building part. bringing it all together. 12 layers at this point. Yeah, all of them together. Like about the last hurrah. We got less than a minute left for this one, so it makes sense. Oh no, I'm hearing some like pulsating underneath. Like every 1 and 3.
It's time to start your own business.
Alright, muting that. Just going to keep it short. Keep an eye out on the timestamps, basically. Alright, add number 2. Might be one more add. Yep. Last one.
Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job.
All right. Now on to Vaccination. Okay. Staccato punching. I get the feeling there'll be like a sort of spinning type of melody or cadence happening around this at some point. Makes something, sorry, it makes sense for something that isn't totally rhythmically uniform in terms of being like a straight eighth note thing or something. But we'll see. It could go many ways. It's also an interesting clever trick there, sort of emphasizing the power of that one layer, especially one note by alternating between whether it has a rhythm or not. That's a new way I've heard in this album to build tension from the beginning. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just patient and letting the chord dwell for a while and then beginning the progression. And this once again has feeling almost like use of jazz chords. Like, it's not something you would hear in, say, bebop jazz, but something I've heard in fusion jazz before. Or lounge. Yeah, this is infused with sort of, electronic drive. Now letting it sit again now that the rhythm's been augmented to the drum beat. Oh, what's this? Kind of eerie discordant harmonization. Sounds like the call of a vengeful ghost from a closed off hive that can't break through, at least just yet. It's interesting how the new melody works, but it seems to be sort of going against the underlying punchy one-note melody and the way that it descends. It's cool because that's not normally how like regular melody lines resolve for a lot of people. And so far, this is one of the most musically fascinating ones, I believe. Here we go, we are getting kind of the spinning melody that I predicted at the beginning. Just that, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's just like that ongoing sort of arpeggiated melody happening sort of in the background. Like you can hear the pitch of it, but it's a bit hard to make out. See, it feels like it's a bit back in the mix, if that makes sense. Not in terms of volume per se, but in terms of where it's placed in the sonic landscape. Feels like it's in the back. Alright, Total Isolation. And here again, we have a bit of a change to the usual opening chord script in that while it's not being bent, it's sort of automatically, it seems, rising with each press. Warbling a bit, so it sounds like it's changing in its own way. A total UFO moment. And now it sounds almost like a alien mechanical voice chants, but now that I can hear it a bit more clearly, it's sort of like percussion. Including with exotic percussion. Definitely veering into some more unusual territory in this album. I'm hearing types of melodies that I haven't heard before. Feels almost like a sacrificial ritual of sorts. Interesting. That's sort of a two-note bass line underneath. It's not the sort that I would have expected to be used per se as a way of harmonizing with the rest of the layers, but it does work in a way. The question is if at least one of these layers will be more isolated over time and then used as the basis for a different type of dominant melody and harmonization. I'm hearing like bubble noises. Not like a constant stream of bubbles, but like single bubbles popping. Fat snare. And before that sounds sort of like a punching or whipping sound, interestingly enough. I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually a synth clap sound that had been slowed down in pitch and slowed down and pitch shifted. Yeah, it was interesting in that emphasizes the voices and rhythms in a way that the previous tracks don't, such that there's so much to explore, and that alone, you're less inclined to notice how much simpler the melody is underneath than what you've heard in most of these tracks, at least so far. Oh, as I say it, now it kicks into high gear, very suddenly. With one of the most active melodies so far on this album. It does feel like we're pretty far on a journey. That's some crucial mission. Starting to feel more subdued. Hearing the bubble noises much more clearly. Here we go. Strange. It left almost suddenly as it entered. Only this time fading out instead of suddenly dropping. Think of it, the bubble noises are arranged in such a way as to evoke heartbeats, but of a disturbed sort. And with that, we venture into symptoms overload. Interesting. Each chord triggering like a rising noise above it. Here we actually, in a way, I get more of a sense of isolation than the one called Total Isolation just one track ago. This one does seem like it's starting to rise. Maybe it's different than the last one and how it conveys isolation because it sounded more almost claustrophobic and counting down to one's doom. And this one I'm getting more of a sort of sense of isolation that I imagine of being, say, alone in a space and perhaps out of being bedridden or something, beholding it in greater length and detail to where it seems much more vast, which resonates with the kind of open, cavernous feeling of the chords and stuff. But now we're getting into a relatively heavy part. With a very pushy groove. Sounds like we're in a bit of a detour, in which we're having to make use of what we find in it to get out in one piece, better face what's outside of the detour. These more subdued tones. with that melodious place, it feels like it's almost reflective on what came before in the track. Oh, interesting. Different parts and different segments coming together to have a different feeling. Next up we have Contagious Being.
The last thing
Gonna mute that. So we'll have a little silent commercial break. Is this it? Okay, one more, I think.
and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ooh, it's like a beast roar. Though it might just be a manipulated synth voice. This one's also rising and falling. Almost like a snoring, sleeping one. Sleeping god like in Pathways into Darkness. Ooh. You hear rise, not only space noises, but sort of a loosely rhythmic melody, descending creepily. A kicking beat that came almost unexpectedly, except that's a common pattern in the tracks, but I didn't expect it to pop out after that. But now everything's locked in. I feel like I can hear the beast breathing, harmonizing in points with this. It's like it's casting a malign spell. Oh, but suddenly, angelic voice piercing through the din, sending all these creatures flying around in this wake. They sound like droplets or scurrying little robotic things. Heavy and rapturous thing. Getting something passed down. Oh, there we go. the initial creepy melody has a different feeling when it comes right after that. It sounds like a denouement or something. It's like a serializing melody here. It's quite fitting for like a penultimate track like this. Feels like a cliffhanger. But here we go. Last one, current situation. This one is like a single chord, giving like a staccato pause to it. I feel like I can hear like faint crystal noises in the background of this one too, like jingles. Spelling the album name. Sounds like an old speak and spell. Offbeat punches. All right. It's the final showdown. But it may just be that we've already undergone the final showdown that Contagious Being sort of felt like, and we're on the helipad getting taken away, ready for pickup. Something sort of comforting about that voice, but also disturbing in part because of just the mechanical feel to it, and seems to also be issuing some sort of warning. With the reverb, it sounds like it's over a PA or something, like we're hearing it all around the building. Like the way that lead line like ascended over the melody and then went back to the starting note, but not necessarily at the beginning of the measure of the main melody happening. Sort of like cycled according to its own rhythm over it. Way, it would be fitting for the track, particularly the speak and spell voice, to sound like a warning, because in a way the album is a warning about the experience of COVID, essentially. Where did I go? Oh, just taking another Unbrn track. Well, we'll do a total Carnage listen through of that at some other point. But that was all of the album Spreader by Unbrn. Thank you for listening. Thanks again to DJ Taxodium for making this and for all the other stuff that you make and do. And I hope to hear more at some point. I expect I'll listen to this more over time, especially in the background while I'm making something, say, marathon related, because it sounds appropriate for that, being a very sort of menacing tech electronic album. But I'll see you all next time. Alright, bye.